monsters begin attacking Jihun. With great effort, he manages to defend himself, eliminating each creature while maintaining an expression of rage and pain. Every movement reflects his desperation and constant struggle to stay alive within a hostile and relentless environment. At a critical moment, when more monsters appear, Jihun slips and falls to the ground. As he looks up, his vision fills with multiple faces identical to Tesu's, each bearing the same mocking and disdainful expression. This sight fuels his anger even further. With a dark gaze and brutal determination, Jihun charges at these figures, cutting them in half one by one. His expression reveals absolute hatred, making it clear that the little humanity he had left has completely vanished, consumed by pain and rage. However, his fury has little time to manifest, as a gigantic monster crushes him under its foot. But Jihun, relentless, pierces through the monster's foot from the inside, emerging from the wound he created, drenched in red liquid and with a fierce look of determination. When he raises his eyes to the horizon, he is met with an endless sea of monsters advancing toward him. This devastating scene makes it clear that there is no escape, no place to hide. Despite this, Jihun makes a firm decision. The only option left is to fight. Surrendering is not an option, and dying for him is simply impossible. 6 years have passed since that fateful day. News reports announce that 6 years ago, a tragic incident claimed countless lives, a case known as the Bloodgate disaster. Back then, the national hero, Hunter Han Tesu, managed to save many, earning everyone's admiration. However, upon hearing the broadcast, Tesu himself, with a dark and enraged expression, grabs a diamond stake and smashes the television without. In the same room, he is accompanied by 2 beautiful women. One of them, surprised by his reaction, dares to ask why he is acting that way, to which he brusquely responds, asking her to stay quiet. Another woman, visibly uncomfortable, quietly comments that he is too cold and distant. Those words seem to ignite a spark within him, awakening a restrained mind. Immediately, he activates his power as painful memories of what happened to his only friend flood his mind. The act unleashes a terrifying outcome. The woman who made the comment violently explodes, drenching everyone present in a thick red liquid. The other woman, terrified by what happened, begins screaming desperately and flees the scene, calling for help. Amid this chaos, a new figure enters the room. It is Lee Yumin. With a determined look, she approaches the hunter and tells him firmly that acting this way will solve nothing. Her tone, though soft, carries an authority that seems to partially ease the tension in the air. With steady steps, Yumin approaches him. Showing no fear, she climbs onto the bed where he lies, his face still hardened by anger and pain. Then, in a low but determined voice, she informs him that she is the only one who can heal him. Activating her powers, the woman places a hand on his head. That simple gesture seems to deeply soothe Tesu, as within seconds, tears begin streaming down his cheeks, revealing the emotional burden he carries. He vividly recalls the moment he defeated Jihun. All those present, witnesses to the act, broke out in praises and celebrations. However, Tesu paid no attention to them. All he did was vanish, leaving behind an atmosphere of confusion and bewilderment among those who witnessed his departure. In his solitude, he teleported to the park where he used to meet his friend. There he remained for a long time under the rain, with the water poking at his body and soothing the sting of his emotions. It was then that someone arrived. Lee Yumin. Without hesitation, she covered him with her cloak, offering not only warmth, but also a gesture of support in his moment of vulnerability. After that memory, the scene returns to the present. In a tired voice, Tesu comments on how someone who was once Kang Ji-hyung's ally ended up in such a desolate situation. The woman, in an intriguing tone, asks him if he doesn't want to see him. Confused, Tesu responds with another question. Who? Yumin, staring at him intently, answers without hesitation, Kang Ji-hyung. These words leave him completely stunned. Immediately after, Yumin coldly adds that 6 years ago, he killed Ji-hyung's mother right in front of him. Not only that, but he didn't even fight him. He simply threw him into the red portal and closed it, sealing his fate with a definitive gesture. This piqued her curiosity, and she questioned him if he was afraid of the monster, that wiped out all SSS-ranked individuals. The question angers him to the point of being on the verge of pouncing on the healer. While grabbing her forcefully, he confesses in rage that yes, he wants to see him, to completely destroy him. He also reveals that this is why he tried to open the red portal over and over again, as he was curious to know if he was suffering. However, he failed in all his attempts. It is then that Yumin, with unsettling calm, mentions that she has something interesting to tell him. She explains that, according to the laws of the universe, the world functions cyclically. It enters a state of destruction, and during these times, something known as the gate emerges. Over time, one of these gates ended up connecting with hell, and that is what they call the Blood Gate. She then adds that he threw Kang Ji-hyung into hell, but warns that the administrator of that place will find him. She informs him that he will soon see him again, leaving Tesu surprised and visibly shaken. Furious, he demands an explanation for what she is saying. However, Yumin does not respond. Instead, she simply asks him to wait, as he too needs to survive until that day comes. With that, she begins to leave the bed. But Tesu, unable to contain himself, calls her back and, grabbing her wrist, demands to know how she knows all this. For her part, Yumin begins to laugh. She looks at him intently and, with an enigmatic smile, asks if he is curious.
And with that, we've reached the end of this week's chapter. If you made it all the way to the end, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this chapter in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe so our community can keep growing and we can reach more fans like you. See you in the next video. In the meantime, if you're from the near future, I'll leave you the next chapter and a comic you're sure to enjoy. Thank you for being part of this adventure.